Hello again, and welcome to Thornton Hough, a model village, once again on the Wirral. So we've crossed the River Mersey, and although the history of Thornton Hough goes right back to pre-Norman conquest times, it was really in the Victorian era that the village was expanded and extended. Initially it was owned by Mr. Joseph Hurst, and then, strangely enough, if you've watched my video on Port Sunlight, it was then purchased by a certain Lord Leverhulme who expanded the village and built yet more accommodation in and around this wonderful village green that we have here, complete with football pitch and play area. It really is a very, very picturesque village. Not very many thatched cottages around, but certainly a lot of half-timbered ones. And I'm standing by the steps of the pavilion, which gets used for, changing rooms for football and no doubt cricket. It's a lovely day. It's extremely quiet, quite breezy, so we're going to take some stills in and around the village. Today I've got the E-M1 Mk.II with the trusty 12-50 zoom lens, so join me as I take a walk around. No need for me to tell you that this is the old Smithy. Still in use, at least part-time. So we're going to see what images we can get from this. Some of you may be wondering how I approach photographic subjects. I know that I do some weird subject matter, but I like to think that this is much more the kind of thing that people in general would like to photograph. So what I think I'm going to do is to set the GoPro up on its stand and just have a little wander around this side of the building and see what I can generate. Still got this set for manual focus, which is not really what I want. Brilliant, okay. The one good thing about this today, very harsh sunlight, but it's throwing light onto the side of the building. So I've got some distinct shadows here, which I love. And there is so much texture in this old paintwork. I guess hanging baskets have seen better days. I don't think there's any value to be gained by me taking a shot through the window, but we will try. There's an awful lot going on inside there, but I'm not sure that I can actually get any still images from out here. Well, I might get something, including a lot of reflection. I'm going to take the lens foot off. I'm not very hopeful about that at all. Anyway, time to move on. now I'm going to try and take some shots of these properties across the road. Hopefully not get shouted at by the lady. Hello there. Do you mind if I just take a couple of photographs of the outside?
Oh, it'd be lovely, thank you.
Well, it's a beautiful place.
Oh, thank you.
Have you lived here long?
No, we only moved in December.
Ah, okay.
Over here now.
I'm thinking you're probably very happy.
We went initially because where we lived, we loved. Next door.
Yes. Nice to talk to you. And you. Bye-bye now. Yes, I have a YouTube channel.
What's it called?
Simply, it's called Photography for Enjoyment. And all the stuff that I do is in and around Liverpool.
Yeah.
Obviously, photography is the main focus, but I also include history. So like today, I'll be talking about, its development and Lord Leverhulme taking it on and all the rest of it, So, yeah.
Oddly enough, I've just done all my...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Good morning, hon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, babe.
Cheers, thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
This all needs to.
That looks gorgeous, though. Looks gorgeous.
So it's photography for pleasure.
Photography for enjoyment.
Oh, photography for enjoyment.
Yeah.
Oh, look yours. Oh, lovely to meet you.
And you. Well, that was a lovely chat with the lady who lives there. And I think now I'm going to go... This is the United Reformed Church here in Thornton Hough. I'm going to go up the path. I want to take some photos of the iron strapping on that door. Who knows, perhaps that was made by the blacksmith down at the Smithy. You like to think about these things, but I do anyway. And yes, this is a location in which I've shot many weddings. And this sort of processional arch, I'm not quite sure how to describe it, in inclement weather is a very good place to pose bride and groom. Anyway. Here we are. Let's just twist slowly around so I don't make you all seasick. But I want to get a couple of images, I think, of this ironwork on the door. Well, I'm just taking a breather outside the Seven Stars Public House. We're right by the main road that passes through the village, so forgive me if the traffic noise is a bit intrusive. I've just taken a shot of a couple of the scarecrows This area of the Wirral holds a scarecrow competition every summer, and all of the little sort of farms and hamlets and villages make their own scarecrows, and then they have a competition and judge the best kind of thing, which is rather a nice touch. Before you ask, no, the pub isn't open yet, so I'm not going to have a drink. So far it's been relatively successful. I think I've got some okay-ish record shots, to be fair, of the items I'm interested in around the village. There's not a great deal that I can photograph using the countryside around here. So it is mainly all going to be architectural studies, I think, and close-up details, that sort of thing. But we're going to carry on and see what else we can put together for you to have a look at. This is Hurst Cottage, right next door to the parish hall, which in turn is next to the parish church, strangely enough. And the other building you can see in the distance is the old vicarage. So we'll take a few stills here, I think. Here's an interesting story for you. I'm going to point the GoPro up to the church spire. Not quite sure how well you'll be able to make it out. I might have to do a separate zoom in and to hell with the quality kind of thing. But there are 3 visible clock faces. And the interesting story is that Mr. Hurst, Joseph Hurst, who paid for the thing and had it built, couldn't see the clock face from his house. So he insisted on having another separate clock movement put into the church spire. Oh, to have money like that. Interesting little tidbit of information for you there. So I'm going to take a still of that. It's going to be nothing to write home about, but it will at least, I hope, illustrate the point. I love little stories like that. I've taken some stills inside All Saints Church. It was built by Joseph Hurst, consecrated in 1868, and there's some lovely stained glass in there. I mean, it's a Victorian era church, so in the great scheme of things it's not that old, but it's beautiful. The proportions are great, and the carvings behind the altar of the Last Supper, the detail in there is phenomenal. Quite how the stills are going to turn out, I don't know. With interiors like that and no tripod, it's a case of, well, for me anyway, put the camera on auto ISO, let it do its own thing, and pray that the images come out okay, really. Resting it on the back of one of the pews, I hope will have given it enough stability to at least be sharp and hopefully not too noisy. mean, I think the highest ISO in there was 4000. I might have to check that when I get back home. But now I want to try and get some images of these half-timbered Victorian cottages behind me here, perhaps with headstones in the foreground. I don't know. It's a bit awkward because on the one hand we have nice old quaint cottages and brand new cars outside. Forgive the passenger jet flying overhead. Looking at it now, I think from here there is a possible shot because there's no car parked in the roadway over there. So I think I might just be able to work out what I've got in my crazy mind. Gosh, we do some crazy stuff as photographers, or at least I do anyway. So what I've got in mind is a low angle shot with a couple of headstones in the foreground and completely cut out the roadway in the background if it's possible. I don't even know that it's feasible to do that. Well, that's not really what I had in mind. It's not possible to get rid of the roadway completely. And I'm going to zoom out rather more because I want more headstones. 250th at 5.6. Not worried too much about it. If I get something usable, all well and good. If not, so be it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. If it was a paying job for a client, that'd be different. Just for good measure, I want to take a shot of All Saints from this angle. And I always, well, I feel personally that it's nice if you can get the spire of the church in your shot, but also to enclose it, if you like, with some foliage, the trees up above. So that's what I'm going to aim for now, and I'll let you have a look at the result. Very photogenic cottages. Their appearance sort of belies their age, to be honest with you. They look older than they actually are. But nevertheless, in just the same way as Port Sunlight, they all fit together rather well. I just love it. Great place to come and visit. There might be a couple of opportunities for me to do some stills here on the way back to Liverpool. But I think it's probably time now for me to head back home, do some post-processing, only a little I promise, and put together this video for you so it makes some sort of sense. That might be a first for me. But anyway, from Thornton Hough, the lovely model village of Thornton Hough, I'm going to say enjoy your photography. I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.